Module 1, Career Development. The field of supported employment is evolving rapidly. Much of what was considered appropriate a short time ago is now obsolete. Values have changed, technology has improved, and new approaches have been developed to help people plan careers, find jobs, and support people in doing their jobs and socializing in their workplace. Supported employment is a simple concept. It refers to a process whereby people traditionally denied career opportunities due to the perceived severity of their disability work in jobs and are provided long-term, ongoing support for as long as needed. Job coaching, job analysis, employer engagement, and career development are critical components of supported employment. These subjects are covered throughout this Integrated Employment Services course. Historically, the approach of vocational services and job development has been to fully prepare people for a job before they can be placed in it. This is known as train and place. Often, people with developmental disabilities were trained at a facility or workshop setting in which they made sub-minimum wage and had little chance for advancement or community employment. There are many problems with this approach. Over 30 years ago, supported employment first challenged the status quo of sheltered work by shifting the thinking away from train and place to its opposite, place and train. Waiting until a person was completely ready to be placed into a job based on training in a sheltered workshop was not working. It took too long for those few that managed to get jobs. Researcher Tom Bellamy estimated that, based on average placement rates at the time, it would take over 55 years for someone to have a real job opportunity. In today's world, place and train has its own shortcomings. For too long, employment professionals have worked to find any available job openings, have placed job seekers into those jobs, and then try to train those people to perform all expected tasks. This approach is not only oversimplified, it causes poor quality work outcomes. While getting a job was an improvement over a life of segregated work, it still too often missed the mark and didn't always allow for a person to gain a job based on their personal interests, with good wages, social inclusion, longevity, and a feeling of personal satisfaction. Plan, match, and support. The new model looks more like plan, match, and support. It is still a simplified process, but is a more sophisticated take on overall job success. Jobs for people with employment challenges need to be customized to fit their skills, interests, and needs. And employers need workers who meet their specific task needs, fit in socially, and are motivated. Simply put, this requires individualization that includes the three components of plan, match, and support. The first step, plan, refers to the preparation required for a good job match that focuses on both of the key customers, job seekers and employers. The match and support steps of the model replaces the approach of place and train. Placement implies something we do to people rather than connecting employers with job seekers. Matching is a more facilitative approach. Like a good headhunter, a job coach brings together people and workplaces in their communities where there is a good fit, then helps by negotiating a job match. This includes completing job analysis, customization of tasks, and helping arrange accommodations and other needs. These topics are discussed later in this course and in other related course offerings. It is critical to consider the job seeker's strengths, interests, and abilities in this phase. Once a job has been brokered, support focuses on natural supports and building coworker relationships to facilitate learning and assistance within the work environment. This is quite different from traditional job coaching. It involves utilizing employment specialists to facilitate training, rather than being the sole source of instruction. Customized employment. Customized employment is a way to open doors to job possibilities for people who might not otherwise achieve employment. Planning for a job that is considered customized requires a great deal of flexibility. But while the process is flexible, there is a proven approach that works and is designed to personalize the employment relationship between a job seeker and an employer in a way that meets the needs of both. It is based on an individualized match between the strengths, conditions, and interests of a job candidate and the identified business needs of an employer. Customized employment utilizes an individualized approach to employment planning and job development, one person at a time and one employer at a time. There is no structured program of employment training that people must go through to qualify for job placement. Instead, planning flows from the person and the necessary conditions for them to have a successful job experience. Career development for a job seeker means vocational assessment using situational and natural environments. From there, employment specialists need to synthesize information and look for common themes. Then employment specialists will assist the job seeker in developing self-representation skills, job experiences, portfolios, visual resumes, and interview skills. Finally, an action plan is developed to work toward a specific job and career path for the person. Remember, customizing jobs can also be a post-employment strategy for career advancement. With experience, companies come to be more familiar and comfortable with diversity and job creation to fit people's real talents to what the company needs to get done. Next are the basic steps. Customized employment steps. 1. Discovery. 2. Profile development. 3. Customized employment plan. 4. Job development. 5. Job analysis and negotiation. 6. Job success. The discovery process. Steps in the discovery process. Assemble team and initial meeting. Home visit. Neighborhood tour. Interviews. Observe activities and settings. Note that the home visit, neighborhood tour, interview of family and friends, and observations can all be done during a single visitation. The discovery process revolves largely around interviews and direct observations in a variety of settings, although it does include reviewing existing information and documentation. The process begins with identifying several, usually 4 to 8, typical activities that the person participates in successfully at home, school, leisure, a favorite community activity, or at a familiar store, and then participating with the person as they take part in these activities. During this time, observe interests, connections, skills, ideal working conditions, and other important perspectives. Then do the same with 2 to 3 activities and places outside the home and school in which the person is at their best or are the most familiar and most competent. Also visit 2 to 4 unfamiliar activities, both in the community and at school, that the person has not tried before, or at places they have not gone before, and jointly participate in these activities. Record observations of behaviors, conditions, settings, social exchanges, learning styles, and other key features throughout. This information becomes the basis for discovering the strengths, interests, and support needs for the most effective work situation for the person. The discovery approach differs from traditional assessments in that it does not measure or try to quantify. Instead, it supports involvement and interaction with the person in a wide variety of natural settings rather than in test settings. More importantly, it provides a complete picture of a job seeker rather than looking at just one or two skill areas. Through this process, a specific job that is consistent with the person's entire life, not merely from a single test result of performance, can be identified. This is proven especially important for people with disabilities trying to enter the job market. Because they often face discrimination, having a job that is tailored to fit their interests and skills has been proven to provide a significant advantage in getting employed. As a result of the process of discovery, employment specialists learn about the strengths and interests of a person in relation to their dreams and goals. Although this will change over time with experiences, it is an excellent place to start the career development process. Once discovery has uncovered information, a team of people can, with the person leading the process as much as possible, begin a person-centered approach to considering career paths. In this process, the job seeker will develop a portfolio of career-based information. This portfolio will include materials that will best represent the person to employers, such as having a visual resume. Using the job development tools available, a targeted job search is conducted. When a job opportunity is secured, a negotiation process is done so that the job match benefits both the worker and employer. As a result of the job match, the process of job site analysis leads to a support plan and identification of needed accommodations. As more is learned from the job experience, the discovery process will evolve. The person will encounter new experiences, develop new skills and interests, and likely want to explore different or altered career paths. Discovery provides the information needed to determine the strengths, needs, and interests of any person with complex life issues. What it avoids, though, is a clinical analysis of the person's disability and deficits. Because it is based on capacities, a job seeker can build on what is likely to be a more effective path to employment, rather than delaying employment to satisfy some perceived deficit. While some people do experience real obstacles to work performance, these can be handled within the context of job possibilities. This is proven to be important because research has shown that without a strength-based approach, few people with disabilities ever realize community job opportunities. And the reason is that too much of their life is consumed by solving deficits as part of a readiness criteria for work.